So typically when I watch a film and I break down a story, one of the first things I'm looking for is that fish out of water scenario. I want to see who's the protagonist, the main character, what are their character flaws, and what new world, new environment are they going to be thrust into that's going to force them to have to change. In this episode, we're actually going to be breaking down the 1990 classic Home Alone. I went the first 30 years of my life without watching Home Alone. I know, it's crazy. How is that possible? But I actually got an opportunity to watch it a couple times recently, and I discovered some really interesting messages and hitting life lessons that I think is going to be important to a lot of us, impacted me as a filmmaker, as a storyteller, and as a person of faith. So stay tuned.
Only time you see my head down is when I'm praying. When my back is turned, the only time they want to see it. Water on me, floor is cold as ice, I'm finished.
Hey guys, my name is Rafiq Jordan. I am a full-time filmmaker and a follower of Christ. On this channel, you have this perfect intersection of faith and filmmaking. Now, if any of that is interesting to you, I would invite you to hit the subscribe button down below, hit that notification bell as well so you can stay up to date with all the things that we're going to be doing moving forward. In this story, we have our protagonist, who is Kevin McCallister. He's actually an 8-year-old kid that's kind of a brat, and his family is on the verge of going on a trip to Paris. And the first time we see Kevin, he's actually in this kind of disrespectful conversation with his mom that I would never be able to do in a million years. I promise you, if I ever talk to my mom that way, I would not be here today. So because Kevin is a young kid, he needs help with a lot of things, but mainly he keeps desiring things that are meant for someone older. We see this in this conflict that he has with his Uncle Frank, where he wants to watch a movie that he's not old enough to watch. We see this with his parents. We see this when he's asked to go pack his bag. There's all this conflict that Kevin is having with the different individuals around him. He has his own wants, he has his own needs, and I kind of feel like the opening image kind of establishes this. You have this cop that is standing in the midst of this chaotic house, and everybody is going about their business, doing whatever they want, but not really paying attention to this central figure who's here. And in a lot of ways, Kevin is a central figure who a lot of people aren't paying a lot of attention to. Now, Kevin wants something that we've all wanted in our life at some point in time, which is total control. Total control over our life, our environment, the people around us, to be able to do whatever it is we want.
It makes me sick. When I grow up and get married, I'm living alone.
I remember specifically this very scenario as a kid, wanting to be older. I remember being at a family member's house and all my bigger cousins are going to stay up and watch a movie, and I can't because I have to go to bed and I'm a kid. And really wanting this desire to be older, to have control over my life and be able to do whatever I wanted. And I think that's a conclusion that we all come to at some point in our life. So this story actually gets moving at the catalyst. So this is the moment when the pizza arrives, this big debacle where the family orders pizzas for everybody. Kevin orders specifically a plain cheese pizza for himself, but his older brother ends up eating it instead. This turns into an altercation, there's a big mess, and Kevin is the one to blame. After this altercation, Kevin gets into an argument with his mom where he states these pivotal words.
I hope I never see any of you jerks again.
Now, this conflict is pretty interesting because the mom's pretty fed up too. They're actually looking at each other and almost wanting the same thing. Kevin wants a world without his parents, without everyone else telling him what to do. And the mom, she wants a world without this little bratty kid that is causing all of these issues. Which means our first lesson here is be careful what you wish for. I think this is something that applies not only to kids, but to adults as well. We struggle fully to enjoy and appreciate the season that we're in and the people around us. You're always wishing for more, wanting more, whether it's a new car, a new job, a new environment. Until we find contentment in where we currently are, we're always going to have this thing that's in us that's nagging at us that makes us uncomfortable and eventually unhappy. So I think the important thing to keep in mind is we don't want to wait until we're home alone in order to appreciate what it is that we already have. This film is actually communicating that we should savor the relationships that we have with our family members, with our friends, and the people that are in our environment. But Kevin doesn't do that. Ultimately leads to him being left home alone. And now Kevin wakes up in this new world where his family is no longer there. He has full control over his life, and he actually takes full advantage of it. Throughout the film, we see him exploring new worlds, conquering fears, acquiring new skills throughout the film. And it's quite interesting because he seems to be having a little bit better of a time than his mom, who is the protagonist of our B story. On the other end, we see her thriving and desperate to get back to her son. As adults, we're more aware of the things that are important to us that we've lost, and we're willing to do the work to fight to get back to it. But Kevin is kind of just moving on with his life as if this is the new reality. It's not actually until we get further on in the narrative that he starts to miss and desire his family to come back. And I think that's kind of the maturing of his journey. And I think part of that comes from him actually living the life of an adult. He goes out and he gets groceries. He's taking care of different parts of the house. I think he comes to understand and appreciate all the things that his parents and his family does that he usually has no hand in. And one of those things that his parents do is actually keeping him safe. Kevin, throughout this journey, has this conflict with the antagonist, which is these pair of thieves that want to break into his house. Now, this is a tall task for anybody, especially a kid, but I actually think this is where Kevin's brattiness actually acts as a superpower. It's the thing that enables him to continue to fight back against his antagonist and not give in to the circumstances. Ultimately, Kevin gets the victory and is able to overcome the villains in this story, but he doesn't do it without the help of this guy. This is Kevin's neighbor, Marley, who's actually key to our final lesson here. But before I get there, if you've made it this far in the video, I want to invite you to hit the subscribe button down below. And if you want me to go ahead and break down one of your favorite family-friendly films, go ahead and put it in the chat below and we can start working on some content specifically on that film. So back to Marley. What we learn about Marley is that he's Kevin's next door neighbor and he's alone. This actually causes a lot of rumors to be made about him, which Kevin eventually discovers is not true. In this pivotal church scene, we learn that Marley has a son who he hasn't spoken to in years because they got into an argument and it created a rift within their relationship. Now Marley desires more relationship with his granddaughter and wants to reconcile his relationship with his son, but he doesn't quite know how. Do you notice the similarities here? Marley has an argument with his son that causes a rift in the relationship, and now they're disconnected. Marty is what we call a reflection character, which is who Kevin would be if he doesn't deal with his character flaw. Years down the line, Kevin could be like Marley, all alone at his house with no family. He's actually someone who has gone the journey that Kevin has gone, has made mistakes, and has a scar to bring back to show. So we actually see this in this scene here where Marley has a scar on his hand, and later on when Marley is meeting with Kevin in the church, we see a bandage to kind of show that the wound is now healing. The relationship that was fractured between him and his son, he's getting closer to it being repaired. Which brings us to this second lesson, which I think is so important, the importance of forgiveness. With all the things that are going on in our world, it's so important for us to reconcile quickly with those that are around us. And I feel like this is something that Kevin comes to understand by the end of the film. When he is finally reunited with his mother, he has an opportunity to be upset, to be the bratty kid that he was in the beginning of the film. But he chooses to accept his mother's love and reconcile. And we actually see a reconciliation, not just in Kevin, but also in Marley, who ends up making that call, reaching out to his son, and them repairing their relationship. Ultimately, this film is about us appreciating the people who are around us, not waiting until they're gone, but making a decision today to reconcile some of those issues. Really quick, I just want to share a scripture with you that I think applies to this lesson, which is Colossians 3:13. Bear with each other and forgive one another. If any of you has grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgave you. In this new year, one of the things that I'm trying to apply to my life is being more content and appreciating the people that are around me, appreciating the seasons that I'm in. I've been in seasons as a filmmaker when I was really busy, and I've been in seasons where things have been really slow. And I think it's really important to find a balance and an appreciation in whatever season you're in, whether you've got a bunch of people around or you're all by yourself. And if there are any rifts or issues with relationships with people that you have around you, reconcile quickly, fam. Take that opportunity to reach out and heal the wounds that you may have. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this story breakdown. Also, let me know what family-friendly film I should be breaking down next. Take care, guys. I'll see you soon.